I have an opportunity to invest in a duplex, but it would become a large portion of my net worth. I am on FOO Step 5, but well ahead of where I need to be in savings. What should I be thinking about?
So Micah, this is a great question because a lot of people ask us this. Hey, I've been doing all the stuff that I was supposed to be doing. I've been following the financial order of operations. Brian, will you hold the thing up? For those of you that don't know, we have a 9-step tried and true process. You can get your free copy at moneyguy.com/resources. And you've been following the financial order of operations. You've been doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. You've been building up your assets and building up your resources. But then all of a sudden, an opportunity presents itself. In this case, it's Micah has an opportunity to invest in a duplex. Oftentimes, it might be some business investment, or you might be able to make partnership at the firm that you work, or something like that. And you say, man, okay, I've been doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but now there is this capital outlay required in order for me to do this thing that I think I want to do. And so you have to assess, all right, if I am to pursue this, what are the risks that I'm taking on and what's the opportunity cost that I'm giving up? You've heard us talk all the time about we love real estate investing. A lot of people think because of what we talk about and because of the financial order of operations, we're anti-real estate, and that could not be further from the truth. But here's what we do know. When you invest in real estate, if it does not go dream plan and it does not go down to earth plan and it goes doo-doo plan, it can get really, really ugly really, really fast. And we've seen that happen. So before I would be able to tell you, Mike, oh yeah, it's okay if you kind of take this quote unquote risk on this duplex, I'd want to see your other foundational financial footprint to make sure that, okay, if you do this and maybe the duplex doesn't rent, or maybe there's a repair that you have to cover, or maybe there is a fill in the blank, you're not going to leave yourself completely out there naked. Because when I hear that you're in step 5, it does not suggest to me that you're in step 7. And generally, we see like real estate and those types of investments happen once you get to hyperaccumulation. Agree, disagree, want to fight?
Yeah, I wrote down a few quick notes. Look, let me tell you why I love real estate, but the same blessing that makes it so awesome is also its curse. Is that the reason you can make wealth with real estate is because you're using leverage. Mm-hmm. Think about it. You put down a small down payment. You go borrow historically at lower rates. Right now, you're not getting a great deal on the interest rates on it, so you better be very purposeful with your decision making. But you're borrowing the debt, and then we know capital assets, just the nature of the way the world is. There's going to be inflation. There's going to be appreciation. And if you from a cash flow perspective, you put a small amount down, but the asset, the fair market value of the asset is appreciating at the full value, not just at what you put down as capital. So it's very quickly a great opportunity to build wealth, because you look at, you're like, hey, I put down $30,000 on this thing. It appreciated over $30,000 just last year. It's 100% rate of return on paper. You're like, wow, this thing's a no-brainer. But here's the curse. Because it's debt, you borrowed the money that you don't have. You're counting on people to make payments in the background so you can keep it. If all of a sudden they quit making payments, you have to now carry that weight. And if it doesn't work out, most people just can't sustain those payments long enough during the desert of bad periods in real estate that they end up losing the assets, and it ends up pulling them all the way down. So there's a better way to do money. And let me tell you, that's why the financial order of operations is your friend. Without a doubt. Now, Bo, he's like playing horseshoes with the financial order of operations, because I actually consider real estate to be a prepaid future expenses or abundance goals step 8.
This guy.
It's but here's the thing. I put an asterisk on it. I'm going to put an asterisk on it because Micah's let us know he's only on step 5. So right there, you think that's a disqualifier. But here's the asterisk. He said it's a duplex. And there is a caveat that I'm going to tell you, lets you have the potential to consider doing real estate earlier, and that's house hacking. If Micah tells me that he's going to live in half of this duplex, and it's all fits into the scope of housing allowance, and and he's looked at his cash reserves, and maybe he's beefed up his cash reserves enough to where now this thing gets a lot less risky. From a leverage standpoint, because he's living in half of it. By the way, this is also going to be great for the bank, because the bank's going to love that you're actually living on
in the
property
asset.
instead of it being an investment property where they're going to charge you a much higher premium on the mortgage rate. You get to say this is your primary house. And you get the better rate, and you're not fibbing about it. You're not creating any, false narratives that get you in trouble with the law if you got caught on it. So that's what I would tell you, Micah, is that if you're telling me that you're looking at this duplex as a house hacking opportunity, you still have to go do all the work. You have to. I'm not giving you permission to break the foo, but I'm telling you that you can consider getting into real estate a little bit earlier, and a duplex is the perfect way to house hack. Because, by the way, you're also going to be a better landlord. If you live next door to the people that you're renting to, guess what? You're going to be able to tell if they're tearing up your place. You'll probably hear them tearing it up. Mm-hmm. So you're going to be much more likely to keep your eyes on what's going on with that tenant. And you'll probably, truthfully, you'll also keep the bad elements away. Because they know, hey, look, if this guy owns it, I'm going to be under his thumb. Paying
attention to what's going on.
Yeah, it's I'm probably not going to be able to change engines in the living room like I've told you horror stories that I've experienced with some of my clients who did rental property.